The wait for Season 4 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous is finally over, and by now you've no doubt binged all 11 episodes, or perhaps are even on your second watch. This season plays out fairly different to the first three, the new location obviously being a large factor in that, but story-wise it also shifts gears into territory that seems more distant from the lore of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, instead throwing us into unexplored realms. So while that may mean that there are less opportunities for Easter eggs, nods and references, there is a lot of fun to be had this season, and there are still a number of high quality 4K Easter eggs. We've compiled our list of Easter eggs, nods and references in Season 4 of Jurassic World's animated Netflix show, so let's dive in. To start things off, we have Ben presenting the group with Nublar grubs, which the group do not look very excited about eating. It's a teeny tiny little reference to Ellie's reaction to the Chilean sea bass in Jurassic Park. Next up we have this shot, which, if you are a resident Paul Kirby fan, you'll know fairly well. This shot appears to be replicating the same angle from Jurassic Park 3. And of course, if you are a fan of Peter Ludlow, then you may recognize this one. The radar beeping and the movements of the object itself, in this case a shark, are similar to the SS Venture approaching the harbor in the Lost World Jurassic Park. And when discussing the threat of sharks, Yaz states,
I saw this movie as a kid that really messed me up for life.
No doubt referencing Deep Blue Sea.
You think water's fast? You should see ice.
No, but for real, she's referencing Jaws, which is one of Steven Spielberg's greatest movies. Spielberg directed Jurassic Park and, of course, the best sequel ever, The Lost World. And in fact, this whole episode feels like one big homage to the man himself and his shark film. Now, you may recognize these colored berries. These look suspiciously like the West Indian lilac plants, the very same plants that made the Triceratops sick in the first Jurassic Park.
Is this West Indian lilac?
Ben even states,
these are just like the berry bushes on Newborn.
And this here creature, this saber-tooth, is a first for the franchise, but if you look closely in the gift shop at Jurassic Park, you'll notice this beast on the shelf. Safe to say saber-tooths may have been on John Hammond's list, after all. In the first season of Camp Cretaceous, there were woolly mammoth remains in Dr. Wu's research lab, so this could all potentially tie to Project Marta, which had at least one facility in Siberia looking for animals from that era. The biomes themselves, complete with weather, feel less like a homage to Westworld and more like a play off the technology that we see in the Hunger Games series. The campers appear to look up here and consider the best route would be to follow the piping. Where have we had that before?
Look above you.
There should be a large bundle of cable and pipes all heading in the same
Direction, follow that.
In Jurassic Park, of course, Ellie, while in the emergency bunker, is instructed to follow the piping above her. When meeting Dr. Turner, Darius is immediately excited, recognizing her and stating with excitement,
I read your book, A Theoretical Emotional Journey with Theropods.
Giving off major Tim Murphy and Eric Kirby vibes there, Darius.
I read your book.
I read both of your books.
Dr. Turner's tech here is similar to that scene in Congo, another Michael Crichton novel, adapted into a film and directed by Jurassic World's producer Frank Marshall and produced by Jurassic Park's trilogy producer Kathleen Kennedy. Dr. Turner's studies themselves are also similar to Dr. Kate Walker's in Jurassic World Live Tour.
Although they got the T-Rexes from Isla Sorna.
The island itself, mentioned by name here, these T-Rexes are a homage to the T-Rex couple we know from Isla Sorna. The species being stolen from the island is a reference to the Dinosaur Protection Group website that was a part of Fallen Kingdom's viral marketing, where they stated that the island's population decline was in part due to poaching. Okay, so we have our very first look at the logo for the company of Manticore, the bioengineering company first name-dropped in Season 1. It makes us wonder if Manticore's introduction is setting us up for Biosyn's introduction in Jurassic World Dominion. These metal rectangles, as seen throughout the biomes, are actually feeders for the animals, and they look very similar to the T-Rex feeder in Jurassic Park.
He's gonna eat the goat? Excellent.
The Compy jumps out here and scares the campers, similar to how the Compy jumps out and scares Dieter in The Lost World. This shot of the robot dog and the campers nearly getting caught is a nod to the raptors in the kitchen scene in Jurassic Park. And this shot of the T-Rex struggling on the ground matches the shot of the Main Street battle in Jurassic World. The necklace that Dr. Turner is wearing looks a little bit like amber. It makes us wonder if there is a mosquito inside of it. Is the new character Cash the new Dennis Nedry? Is his fidget spinner the modern version of Nedry's Panic Pete? There certainly are some similarities between these two characters. Yasmina is suffering from PTSD from her time on Isla Nublar, and this is one of our favourite character moments from this season. The dream sequence with all the big bads getting ready to attack her is a little reminiscent of the scene in Jurassic Park 3, where Dr. Alan Grant dreams of a velociraptor.
Alan! Alan!
Now this one really isn't a reference to anything, but it is pretty cool. Check out the DNA hexes making up the pattern on this rug. This shot of the Brads walking through the smoke is a little reference to the scene in Jurassic Park 3 where the Pteranodon breaches the fog. The new environments of this season appear to be similar to the locations we will be seeing in Jurassic World Dominion. The swampy Isla Sorna looking jungle, the snowy tundras, and the open deserts. And we have the sick Kentrosaurus here. What does this remind you of? Of course, the sick Triceratops from Jurassic Park. I wonder if the Kentrosaurus had been eating those berries. Now you may recognize this whole sequence here, a gang of survivors on a dinosaur-filled island being circled by a pack of velociraptors. Well, my friends, that is a reference to the scene in Jurassic Park 3. So what we have here is dinosaurs fighting, looking very similar to the Jurassic Park video game WARPATH, where you get dinosaurs to fight. This is also a good time to mention that the whole season has references throughout to the Jurassic Park 3 video game Scan Command. Siaka, of course, finally getting his ultimate wish. The story of Scan Command is that campers intending to go to Costa Rica end up crashing on Isla Nublar, where InGen is running tests to control and battle dinosaurs. Scan Command's DinoVac tablet is basically Dr. Turner's tablet, but with intended mind control elements. Season 4 dabbles with mind controlling the dinosaurs once Cash takes over Dr. Turner's project. Cash is also written kind of like a Scan Command character. Ultimately, the story of Season 4 has strong ties to the 2001 story of Scan Command, Manticore's motivation being strikingly similar to Dr. Irene Court's. There is advanced tech outside of the robots in Scan Command, and of course, both feature stranded campers. Honestly, we've got to say, we did not think we'd be seeing a Scan Command reference in 2021. This shot of the raptor charging and then banging against the door is similar to the Spinosaurus doing the exact same thing in Jurassic Park 3. And just like in Jurassic Park 3, Kenji and Brooklyn stopping in their tracks at the side of robot dogs and then backing against a tree to hide plays out just like the scene from Jurassic Park 3. The technology being used here to work on the injured Tyrannosaurus is similar in appearance to the tech used in the paleo-medical facilities in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And what do we have here? Yes, it's the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. And the Spino is no stranger to getting stuck behind something while chasing its prey, does the exact same thing in Jurassic Park 3. The Spino biting at the campers here is a little similar to the scene in JP3, where the Spino is attempting to eat the Kirbys and co in the plane while they make an escape, one by one. And at the end of this episode, we see inside Darius's bedroom, which we have not seen since the first season. We mentioned it in our Easter egg video for season 1. His room is filled with little nods to the franchise, and up here we have the dinosaur fact sheets from the Jurassic World dinosaurs, and of course, to top it all off, a Mr. DNA poster. So we have this monstrosity, the Brad X. So there is a lot to say about this, but it could be a homage to the battle droids from the Star Wars prequels, but it also appears to slightly resemble some of Carlos Huante's artwork from the very early take on Jurassic Park 4, which featured dino-human hybrids, among many other crazy things. And seriously, this is a good opportunity to mention, if you've not read that script, you really should. Next up, we've got Cash talking about the Spinosaurus, and he says,
"That thing does not like people."
This is the Spinosaurus from Isla Sorna, the same one we see in Jurassic Park 3, so potentially this Spinosaurus does not like people because of the very people that escaped from it in 2001. We're looking at you, Amanda Kirby. Ben! Now we have this shot which is, and we can't emphasize this enough, a tiny little nod, and probably not even a nod, to the cancelled Jurassic Park video game Survival, which had a promo shot that looked a little bit similar. Okay, this one really was a stretch, so let's just move on. Now you may think that this is the same baby Brachiosaurus seen in season 3, but you would be wrong. While it does indeed look exactly the same, it was actually poached from Isla Sorna as mentioned in the show, although that in itself brings up an issue as the brachiosaurs seen in Jurassic Park 3 on Isla Sorna are very different in colour to the ones seen in Jurassic Park. The brachios in JP3 are green in colour, much like the one paired with the Darius toy, so either Mattel know their history more than the Camp Cretaceous writers, or the dinosaur colour was changed at some point for unknown reasons. We've got Brooklyn falling down the rope here, a clear nod to the trailer's sequence in The Lost World. Also in this scene, the raptors are rushing to grab the hanging Brooklyn, which is similar to Amanda Kirby hanging out of the tree in Jurassic Park 3 and being saved right at the last second. The lights flicking on here one by one is similar to the lights in the bunker in Jurassic Park.
What's everyone's obsession with making hybrids?
Couldn't have said it better ourselves, Kenji. Also, the Sinoceratops DNA that makes up the hybrid was the same DNA that Sammy extracted on Isla Nublar in Season 1, finally clearing that story thread up. The Spinosaurus DNA was extracted from Site B, and this creature itself could be a nod to the Stegoceratops, which was an unused hybrid from Jurassic World. Playing a video game where you battle dinosaurs, that is already a very real video game in this franchise, one we mentioned earlier in fact, WARPATH Jurassic Park. The Ceratosaurus looks like the one from Isla Sorna in 2001. Many dinosaurs on Manticore's Island are from Sorna, so this one could very well be the same dinosaur from Jurassic Park 3. And here, when the dinosaur charges towards the elevator, it seems like another nod to the Spinosaurus doing the same thing in Jurassic Park 3. Controlling a dinosaur with a brain chip is similar to the leaked Jurassic Park 4 John Sayles script that had a form of controlling dinosaurs by releasing hormones to affect their moods. We have Ben playing out the very same situation he ended up in at the end of the first season, getting chucked around in the air by pteranodons, eventually getting dropped in the jungle. I guess Ben's beginning to enjoy the thrill of flying reptiles nearly killing him. The Spinosaurus arm around the door here looks a little bit like the raptor claws around the door in Jurassic Park. Another stretch, but you know what? We'll take it.
He's a real person. It has to be someone from a TV show or a movie or something.
Indeed, Dr. Grant is a real person in this universe. And potentially the best dinosaur reveal in the show so far, the Dilophosaurs are finally back. This is their first on-screen appearance since the Dilophosaurus scene in the very first Jurassic Park. A long-awaited fan favorite is back, complete with the original sounds and original colors of InGen's Dilophosaurus. This could very well be setting up the cinematic reappearance of the species in Dominion. And as our theory video had predicted, we have Kenji's dad. Kenji's father is the head of Manticore, meaning season 5 is going to have some tough decisions for Kenji to make. And that appears to be all of the Easter eggs and references that we found in the 4th season of Camp Cretaceous. Now we may have missed a few, so if you noticed any that we didn't, leave them down below in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you aren't already, then subscribe for more Jurassic content. What did you think of Season 4? If you haven't already, check out our video review and let us know in the comment section of that video what you thought of this season. How excited are you for the future of Camp Cretaceous? Don't forget to check out the Jurassic Outpost store for Jurassic-themed clothing, mugs, masks, and more, and check out the video description for discounts with our various partners. As always, head to JurassicOutpost.com for more news and information.